Alright homies, welcome back. Legacy of Vader, Issue 3, The Ghosts of Tatooine. So this issue picks up right where the last one left off. Kylo went to attack Gardulla's fortress and got himself captured. He's now suspended up, he's hanging. She is going to show him a new meaning of pain, if you will. He keeps screaming at her, "Do you know who I am? You better release me, or your suffering's never going to end." Boom, he's electrocuted through the chains. As he hangs there, sizzling, he hears over an intercom, "You're nothing. All you can do is obey." Then he has a flashback of his intimate moment with Rey aboard the Supremacy. "You come from nothing." He's electrocuted again. All you can do is obey. Kylo then tries a new tactic. He tells her that she's making a huge mistake, that there's opportunities to be made if she would just, shocked again, over the intercom, obey. He then switches tactics and starts threatening her, telling her she's a relic of the past and that he will bring doom to her. He's shocked again, over the intercom, obey. Finally, he lifts his head, almost like gathering himself, and says, "There is no pain. There's only..." And then he's shocked again. Over the intercom, obey. Now, homies, I love this because he starts out, he sounds just like his father. "Jabba, wait, you're throwing away a fortune. Don't be a fool." Then he sounds like he's Hux, or a member of the First Order, just being threatening. Then finally, he sounds like a Skywalker, quoting some sort of creed or code. I did some research. The Jedi code and the Sith code don't start like that. Even that silly gray Jedi code that floats around like every 6 months on the internet, it's not part of that one either. As he's getting shocked over and over, he tells Gardulla that he's been away for far too long and that the First Order's gonna come looking for him. Now, this is where it gets interesting because we cut back to Gardulla and the little Force dude who is holding Kylo's lightsaber. That's important for later too. She's laughing at him because he thinks he's been gone for days. It's only like been an hour. But the little dude pipes up and says, "You know, if you keep this up, you're gonna kill him." He then brings up that she made a deal to break him, not destroy him, and that tons of weapons and power are coming her way, but none do if he dies. She then decides to give him a rest and starts pumping the room full of a hallucinogenic gas, and it's supposed to bring back the life that he lost and the chains that are to come. As the room fills with gas, Kylo passes out, and then in a pretty cinematic moment, he raises his head, and he sees none other than his grandfather, Darth Vader, cutting down rebels left and right. Kylo's eyes light up with Vader's handiwork. He looks up and says, "You're magnificent. Please, I need your guidance. Help me." Vader answers, "You ask me for help? Everything that I did that made me magnificent, I did alone." And then he walks away from Kylo. Snap back to reality. Kylo's hanging in chains, and he lifts his head and says, "Say it. Say it." He's shocked again, and over the intercom, obey. And he smirks and says, "No." Now I'm gonna keep it 100 with you guys. I'm not really sure what exactly happens here. As he gets shocked, he's able to kind of reverberate it back through the apparatus, like force lightning through the apparatus, and then he's able to destroy the room that's around him. He's kind of done something similar to this in the Rise of Kylo Ren comic. He destroyed Luke's temple via lightning, allegedly, because I feel like the Knights of Ren or Palpatine actually had something to do with it. It's just kind of left ambiguous. There was just lightning involved with it. This is not the first time he's done something like this. So he blows up the building, and he looks around, and he realizes he's not in the fortress at all. He's somewhere in the Dune Sea. So then we get a pretty cool montage of Kylo trekking across the desert. He meets a minor crate dragon, he kills it, skins it, starts wearing its skin as armor, basically, and he's using its teeth as hand weapons. He then meets some bandits, and unfortunately takes all their supplies. Then makes contact with the First Order. He tells them to bring the finalizer to Tatooine. In the meantime, he rides on a dewback back to the fortress. Now guys, this is my favorite part. He gives them the coordinates of the fortress. He tells them in 20 minutes that he needs a complete and utter orbital bombardment. Back on the finalizer, the comms person tells Hux that she would be remiss if she didn't mention that the Supreme Leader just told them to fire on the location he was at. Hux answers that he has learned to question the Supreme Leader at his own peril. And with a grin, he says, "Prepare the bombardment." I'm sure he knows what he's doing. Guys, I love that their little rivalry continues. They clearly hate each other, and I'm here for it. We know where these guys end up. I can't wait to see how it escalates to that point. Then Kylo walks into the fortress, then comes back out and he's holding his lightsaber. And he looks back as the finalizer blows up the fortress and he just says, "No." Later, Kylo's speaking with Vanine, and Vanine tells him that he apologizes because he thought that Gardulla's fortress being destroyed was in response to his death. He then asks Kylo, has his understanding of Vader grown along with his powers? Kylo then answers, yes, I did. I'm alone, and there's purity in that. Vanine then asks him if their journey can continue, because Tatooine was only the beginning. There is much for Kylo to learn. Kylo then answers, yes. Vanine then says, wonderful. I await you on Barakino Island, on Naboo. Guys, he wants to be held by the lake on Naboo. In all seriousness, this was a fun issue. I'm loving the slow burn with his power-ups, and then also how his relationships are changing with those he's around and those he's not around. I think it's interesting that we only got one flashback with Rey in it, and kind of the light is fading from him. I'm super pumped to see what Vanine has in store for him on Naboo. I mean, he somehow did orchestrate everything that happened to him on Tatooine, so I'm sure that he has all kinds of craziness in store for him on Naboo. So I liked this issue, not as much as I liked the second one. It's really interesting what they decided to show and didn't decide to show you. Like, I thought there would be a really cool fight scene in the fortress, but we just didn't get that. Overall, I give it a 7 out of 10. Solid stuff. Homies, please don't forget to like and subscribe. And it sounds like I'm gonna be meeting you by the lake on Naboo for the next issue.